ColdFusion Simple Blog, Episode 9. Okay, let's see how far I can get today. So we've got this here where we can drop the posts and then create the table and then alter to give it the foreign key. When I run this code, it works just fine. You can see it, and you can see there's no posts when we go here to data. There are still the users in the data. So let's go back to our code. And what we want to do now is to basically create the delete, insert, update, make sure it's all created. So let's just close that. In the delete, it's empty. The insert, there's data where we were outputting the form. I'm going to delete that, but I have a CF try catch around it, so if there's an error, it would throw it and give us the error. So let's go back and look at users. This is the posts, I mean. Let's go back and look at posts. And let's see what we have under the table posts. If we go to the table post, we can see the columns we have. We have a timestamp that should default to the current timestamp. We'll find out if it does in a minute. So when we come back here, this is for insert. Let's actually try to insert something. Click add. And we will say this is a test post. And we will, here, let's do this. I'm going to use fake data. Fill it in, and then I'm going to put this back to test that. Click add, and it looks like it's working now. So now we need to get the edit and the delete working. So let's actually click this again. Click that. Fill it in. Click add. Let's get a few of them so we can play around with them. Okay, so we have a few of them that's working. Now let's go look and see under edit, we have posts. We don't have the edit, but we do have the add. So let's actually copy the add, come here, paste, and then I'm going to go up here at the top, and we're going to change this to edit. Down here we want it to be update, update post, and then everything is here when you do that, except for one thing. You need a hidden field, which we already have a hidden ID for the particular post that we're doing. We don't want to go to act insert. We want to go to act update. Okay, so this, let's see here. Let me go back and look at the add a post. The add a post has a hidden URL. That is probably, I think, let's go look at the insert, because I think that's probably for the wrong, I've got it for the wrong reason. Yeah, that's giving me the user ID. So let's change that, because that should be on add. I guess I can leave it here. No, let's not leave it here, because that won't be good, because then if you're comparing the two, so we'll say URL, user, so we want the column to be user ID. We'll pass in the URL to add, which will then be the user ID. So if we go to insert, we've got to change this here, this form, to user ID. So let's go see if we could add another post. Click add, and we will click here and click fill them all out, click OK, and it's still working. Okay, so I didn't break it doing that. Now, what I want to do for edit is I really want to do the exact same kind of thing. Let's just copy this output and put it all the way out here, and we'll fix that in just a minute. And I'm going to take this output and go all the way down to the bottom, and then that covers all of that. And then I want to move this over, tab it over one so it all fits. Okay, so we're doing act update. We have a hidden one. So what we want is two of these. One that's for user ID, and one for post ID. So this one will be user ID. Now what we need to do is when we go back to the link in the edit, we have ID from the query post, which should be the post. I'm just looking at this. Oh, because we haven't done edit. Up here we got the current user's ID, and I've hard-coded it to me. We can fix that at some point, or maybe not. This is for a very simple blog. I kind of want to move on to some other stuff, so let's look here. So what we need is the ID of the post, which we've got, and then it's looping through the posts. Now when we loop through the posts, if we go to the query that's getting the posts, and we see posts, so it's looping through, it's getting all of this. We need it to get the user ID as user ID. Actually, no, we don't. We don't need that, because just like down here, we have a user ID in post, of course. So let's come back here and we will simply say user ID, and this is coming from posts, and this one's also coming from the query post. It's going to give us the post ID. I could put the word post ID in here, but I'm not going to. So once you go to the update, it will be similar to this, except you're going to be updating all of the variables that are inside of the post. So I can say update posts, and I can say where the ID is equal to the ID, because that's going to be the post ID. So if we go back to the insert here, we can say, okay, well, what columns are we going to be doing? These are the 3 columns we're going to be doing. So let's go back to the update, and we will simply move this down, paste. Let's get rid of these. Delete here, move that, tab that over, just the way I like it. I'm going to get rid of the commas. I need to put them back in, but I'm going to go equals and CF query param should CF query param. Okay, no, I want here. Let's just go borrow the one we already have. We already have these 3, so we'll just copy those, and we'll come back here. And we'll paste them down here for a second. We will copy this first one. We'll keep the comma. That's another reason I deleted the other comma. Paste. So then we'll come to this one, and we will simply go all the way across, and we will say equals this, and then we will copy this one, and it's an integer, because it's the user ID that's done the post. Paste. And we'll delete one of those. Okay, so now we'll have it be doing an update. Okay, so the update of the post, and I made an A up there, so let's go change that. I've got commas on the end of all of them except for the last. So this actually I think should just work. So let's go find out. This is for update. So we'll go in here to this one, and we don't have the form yet. Well, it might help if we have the form, but we do have the form. It's just not, oh, we don't have the output. Okay, so because I like to name my queries and my query files the exact same as the query name, I can just copy that query name, paste that here, and now let's go see if our edit page works, or do I need to do more? Looks like I may have to do more. So first thing let's do, let's see if dump, oh, you know what? That's getting the user by ID. I'm not wanting the user by ID. I'm in post, or am I in the wrong one? This is in the post, yeah. So what I want is get post by ID, which means then I copy that. Whoops. Copy that. Come back down here, paste. Go back here and hit refresh on the screen. And it throws a huge error, but that's fine. Let's see. Is it post or is it post with an S? No, it's post. So let's look here. We're passing in the ID of the post. We're trying to get all of this information. So this P should be for posts. That could be part of the problem. Let's copy this and make sure I'm using the correct one on edit. So let's paste this here. It looks like it was correct. Let's go see how big of an error we get now. And now we get the page, but we're not getting the data. So the post should be post number 2. Let's do a dump and see why. CF dump, why we're not getting anything, and see what it says. So when I look in here, it shows I'm getting it. So it's going to be first name. Oh, wait a minute. This is getting where? Oh, there's the content, and there's the title. There's the user ID. Okay, so let's go back here and let's look. So the first one we've got is ID. Wait, let's go back and look before we hit refresh. Users ID. So we do have the user ID, which is users ID, and I've got that set here. I'm going to leave it like that for now. Users ID to users ID. So let's see here. What do I got to change to fix that? That's coming from the database. No, that's coming from the query. So let's go back up here. Oh, it is coming from the database. So I'm not going to change it. I'm going to leave it. I don't feel like changing it. So I will simply say user's ID here. So when I go to do the update, I will need to remember that. Here, oh, there's no values in here. There you go. That's the problem with that. So we say title. And then this content should be a text area. So let's get rid of that and go back to our add. I thought I had a text area. It doesn't look like, oh, I don't. You know what? That's got to be fixed. So we're going to say text area. And we want to do class equals form control. And we want to do name equals content. We want to do ID equals content. Then we want to do, oh, we don't need the value because we're going to have that inside of here, text area. And so we delete this and we simply say content. Let's go see on add how this looks, which since it's add, I'm not going to have data here. So let's get rid of that. Let's copy it, let's save, and let's go check the add real quick. So if I click back and I click add, now we have a text area. Let's actually change it because normally, I believe it's, well, let's change it on the edit first. Let's go here because I don't want to forget. And then in here, I will simply go content. So now if I click back and I click edit on the second one, I get the content filled in and it's ready to update. So this is the first step. So let me grab something real quick. Okay, let's see. We're going to go back to the code. What I want to do is simply say rows equals 4, calls, I think it is, equals 50. Oops. I think that's right. Let's go look at the edit and see if that's right so we can fix it. If it's not, hit refresh. Yeah, so you can make it more. In fact, let's just make it 10 because you're posting a blog post and it might be a little bit longer in the content area. So there we go. So we've got the ability to post our text in there. Okay, so we want to do the same thing in the ad. We want 10, see, row, I think it was rows 10, calls 50, I think. I should have probably just copied it. 10 and 50, rows, calls, there we go. So now if I go back here and I can click back and click edit, we have the same thing to fill out here. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we've got that set up. We can actually come back here, click add, and we can fill in this, and I'm going to copy, paste several. So now you have the blog that's being posted. Now let's see here. We've got the author, we've got the blog, we've got the text. So let's see here. Okay, let's see here. We've got the ad, we've got an edit, and then when we go to do update, we go to act update. This should update. We really, now that I think about it, we're not going to let users update someone else's content, so we don't really need that now that I think about it. So if I go back to the edit, we don't need the user, we just need the post ID, because when we have someone edit, it'll be theirs. So let's just make sure it still works. We'll add some numbers on the end here. And it's updated and it's still showing I'm the author. So the edit and the update works. So now let's do the delete. And I'm going to copy this, come here, paste, simply say posts. And this should not be saying update. This should be saying delete, which means this one didn't get updated. Delete. Now, you don't have to have that because you're not outputting anything from it, but I prefer it to match just out of principle and out of standards in the way things go. So let's just get that. Now let's go see if it deletes. We'll delete this second one here. And it works. So we've got everything to put data in. You could set up a login and you could go have the admin protected, but let's go to home. Now what we want to do in the home is to display the content. And let's actually do one more thing. Ipsum lorem generator. Here's 14 different ones. Let's just pick one of these. I want one that sounds a little better. Fine. Let's go with pirate. So let's go here. Nope. Let's go back. Let's go like this. Whoops. Where's pirate? We'll go like this. Search Google. We'll go right here. There we go. That's what I'm trying to get to. So what we'll do is we'll say, let's make, I don't know, 2 paragraphs. Is that one of the choices here? Okay, hold on. Words in a sentence. Number of paragraphs. Let's just say 3 paragraphs. So it's created 3 paragraphs. We will copy this, copy that, and we'll go back to our code. We'll go back to our admin. We'll go back to our posts. We will click on this one, and we will paste that, update post. And even though these all say the same thing for right now, I'm going to update all of them to this so that we have a couple options of things we could do. First thing I want to say is when you come to your editing of your post, you're going to know the name of the post by the title. You're not going to care about the body. However, you do want to see it. So it is nice to have it to be able to be seen. But let's go first and let's work on this on the home page. So if I close all these for right now and I go to the index, and this is getting all the posts. So look, that query is what we want, but in the index page. So when we get to, if we click that button here, it closes all of these, and we can see we're on the home page. So we will go up here and we'll say post, but we don't want it to go up all these paths. So if you see this, I already know where it's at, but just in case you don't, you can do // and you can see there's queries, / and then you can find the posts and you've got the post. So that's one thing you can do. So now we want to output these posts. Let's just do it down here. But before I do that, let's see here. This is home for, what did it say? Home for the CF. We don't need this title. So let's get rid of that. That's kind of what I was wondering. We can always add a title. Name, not name, query. And you put in the query. So what we want is posts, and then we want the body. The body is actually going to be called content. And because we have a query with posts, we don't need that. We don't need that. It's going to look pretty good, but let's just go look at it. So now you can see each post that we've made. Now what we may want to say is let's limit it for now, rows. Max rows 3. So now we're limiting it to the last 3 posts. And then we could always create another link that would send it to more, which I am not going to create. I will let you build that, and if you have any trouble, let me know, and I'll think about adding more to this. So right now we have it where it says more, and you would click on more and it would show more of them. So this is a super simple blog. Now we have an admin area. Right now we don't have a login, so that's something you need to learn to build. But first I want you to get to this point, because what you've done, one of the things you need to realize, doesn't matter what website you go to, every website has create, read, update, and delete. Every website. Now behind the scenes there may be a few of them that do a little fancier stuff to do algorithms for scientific reasons and things, but most websites are about presenting information. So what happens is there's a way to insert the information that you create. There's a way to go read from the database and display it. That's the read. Then you can go update the database so that you can change that and add more information to the update. And then there's a delete, where you can go delete. So I'm going to stop right here on this episode for this particular simple blog, because this was not meant to be a full-fledged fancy blog. It's mainly kind of like the to-do list to teach you how to do the CRUD, the create, read, update, and delete. And this is the simple way. Now we may create another blog down the road if we decide to. And if we do, we'll try to make a fancier way of doing it and a better way of checking everything. So hopefully you've enjoyed this, and if you have questions or you want to get to the code, I'll try to post the code. Even if there's mistakes in it right now, I will be pushing it up to GitHub, and then you will have access to it. I will go in on this last video and put the link to the GitHub account, to the GitHub project that's for this particular one. So hopefully you like it, and if you have any other ideas, please subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I'm posting more stuff. But if you subscribe and support me by getting subscribers, it helps support me, and I'm trying to build mostly ColdFusion stuff. I will build some PHP stuff. I will build some Vue, React, Angular. I will build some JavaScript, CSS, maybe even some HTML for the very beginners. But let me know if there's a particular subject you might be interested in, and I'll do the best to see if I can help you with that. Thank you.